Welcome to the Practical English Podcast. I'm Angela.
And I'm Mike. We're so happy you're here with us today.
This podcast is all about helping you speak English more naturally, more confidently, and more fluently in real, everyday situations.
That's right. We don't focus on textbook English. We focus on the kind of English people actually use when they're talking to friends, colleagues, and strangers.
Exactly. So whether you're a B1 intermediate learner or a C1 advanced speaker, there's something here for you today.
In today's episode, we're going to cover some great natural expressions, walk you through some shadowing exercises, and give you some practical pronunciation tips.
Shadowing is one of the most powerful techniques for improving your spoken English. If you've never tried it before, don't worry. We'll guide you through it step by step.
And if you're already familiar with shadowing, great! Think of today as a chance to level up your practice.
Before we dive in, I want to say something important. Learning a language takes time. There will be days when you feel frustrated. There will be moments when you make mistakes.
And that's completely okay. Mistakes are actually one of the best ways to learn. Every time you make a mistake, your brain is working hard to fix it. That's progress.
So the most important thing is to keep going. Keep listening, keep speaking, keep practicing. Consistency is everything.
All right, are you ready to start? Let's do this.
Okay, let's start with our first segment, natural everyday expressions. These are phrases that native English speakers use all the time, but that you probably won't find in most textbooks.
That's so true. When I was learning Spanish, I spent years studying grammar, but when I actually spoke with native speakers, I felt completely lost because of all the informal expressions they used.
Exactly. So today, we're going to fix that. We'll share some common expressions, explain what they mean, and use them in natural conversations so you can hear how they sound in real life.
The first expression is, I'm all ears. This is a fun way of saying, I'm listening, or tell me everything. For example, if a friend says, I have something to tell you, you might reply, oh really, I'm all ears.
I love that one. It's very casual and warm. It shows the other person you're genuinely interested in what they're saying.
The second expression is, it slipped my mind. This means you forgot something. So instead of saying, I forgot, you say, oh, I'm sorry, it completely slipped my mind.
Right, and this sounds much more natural and a little less blunt than just saying, I forgot. It also shows you're apologetic about it.
The third one is get the hang of something. This means to gradually learn how to do something. So you might say, don't worry, you'll get the hang of it eventually. Or, it took me a while, but I finally got the hang of driving.
This expression is incredibly useful because you can use it for almost anything, learning a new skill, using a new app, or even adjusting to a new job.
The fourth expression is on the fence. If you're on the fence about something, you can't make a decision. You're undecided. For example, I'm still on the fence about whether to take that job offer.
And if you want to ask someone else, you can ask, are you still on the fence about it? It's a polite, indirect way of asking if they've decided yet.
Our fifth expression is hit the nail on the head. This means to describe something exactly correctly. So if someone says something that is absolutely right, you can say, yes, you really hit the nail on the head there.
All right, let's quickly review those 5 expressions. First, I'm all ears. Second, it slipped my mind. Third, get the hang of something. Fourth, on the fence. And fifth, hit the nail on the head.
Great job! Now, the best way to really learn these is to use them yourself. So after this episode, try to use at least one of these expressions in a sentence today. Even just saying it out loud to yourself is practice.
Okay, it's time for our first shadowing exercise. Now, for those who are new to shadowing, here's how it works.
You listen to a sentence or a short dialogue, and then you repeat it out loud, trying to match the speaker's rhythm, intonation, and speed as closely as possible.
The goal isn't to be perfect. The goal is to train your mouth and your ear to work together. You're building muscle memory for English sounds and patterns.
So get ready to pause, listen, and speak. Here we go. We'll go slowly at first, and then at a more natural pace.
I'll start. Listen to this sentence. I've been trying to get the hang of cooking lately, but honestly, it completely slipped my mind to buy groceries.
Now pause this episode and say that sentence out loud. Try to match Angela's rhythm and natural flow. Go ahead, pause now.
Welcome back. How did that feel? Don't worry if it was difficult. It gets easier with practice. Let's try another one at a more natural speed.
Here's the next sentence. She's still on the fence about the trip, but I think once she hears the details, she'll be all ears.
Pause and shadow that sentence now. Focus on the natural linking of words, how on the fence flows as one smooth phrase, and how all ears has a small emphasis on all.
Great work, everyone. Shadowing really is one of the fastest ways to improve your speaking. If you can do even 5 to 10 minutes of shadowing a day, you will see real improvement within just a few weeks.
And remember, the more you do it, the more natural it starts to feel. At first, it's awkward for everyone. That's completely normal.
All right, let's move into our second main segment, pronunciation and rhythm. This is something that a lot of English learners overlook, but it makes a huge difference in how natural you sound.
That's right. You could have a great vocabulary and perfect grammar, but if your rhythm and stress patterns are off, native speakers might find it harder to understand you, or it might not sound as natural as it could be.
So let's talk about a few key things. The first is word stress. In English, every word of 2 or more syllables has one syllable that's stressed, meaning it's said a little louder, a little longer, and at a slightly higher pitch.
For example, take the word important. The stress is on the second syllable. Important, not important or important. Important.
And here's the tricky part. When you change the form of a word, the stress can shift. Take the word photograph, photograph. But when you say photography, it becomes photography. The stress shifts to the second syllable.
So it's really important to learn the stress pattern of each word as you learn the word itself. Don't just memorize the spelling, practice saying it out loud with the right stress.
The second thing we want to talk about is connected speech, also called linking. In natural English, words don't always have clear gaps between them. They link together into flowing phrases.
For example, instead of saying, "Do you want to eat?" very clearly and separately, a native speaker might say it like this: "Do you want to eat?" Everything flows together.
And that can be really confusing for learners. You might hear wanta and not recognize it as want to, or you might hear gonna and wonder what word that is.
Exactly. So one of the best things you can do is simply listen to a lot of natural spoken English, podcasts, TV shows, movies, and train your ear to hear these connected patterns.
The third tip is about sentence stress. In English, we naturally stress the most important information in a sentence. Content words, nouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs tend to get stressed. Function words like the, a, to, of are often unstressed and spoken quickly.
Let me give you an example. If I say, "She bought a new car," I'm emphasizing that she bought it and that it's a car. But if I say, "She bought a new car," I'm emphasizing who bought it. She did, not someone else.
This kind of sentence-level stress is what gives English its natural rhythm and music. It's what makes the language sound expressive and alive.
So next time you listen to English, in this podcast, in a video, anywhere, try to notice which words the speaker stresses. It'll start to train your ear automatically.
Time for our second shadowing exercise. This time, we're going to focus on natural rhythm and connected speech. Listen carefully to how the words link together and which words are stressed. Ready? First sentence. I'm going to grab a coffee on the way to work. Do you want to come with me?
Pause now and shadow that. Notice how gonna and wanna sound. Focus on the rhythm, the way it all flows together naturally. Go ahead.
Now let's try a slightly longer one. It was one of those days where everything seemed to go wrong, but somehow I managed to get through it.
Shadow that sentence out loud. Notice the stress on seemed, wrong, somehow, and managed. These are the words that carry the most meaning in that sentence.
And one more. Learning a new language isn't always easy, but every little bit of practice really does make a difference.
Pause and shadow. Focus on the stress at the end. Every little bit of practice really does make a difference. That emphasis at the end makes the sentence sound encouraging and genuine.
Excellent. You're doing wonderfully. Shadowing exercises like these are something you can do every single day. Even short sessions of 5 or 10 minutes can build real fluency over time.
For our final segment today, I want to talk about something a little different, the mindset side of language learning. Because honestly, confidence and motivation are just as important as grammar and vocabulary.
I completely agree. I've met people with incredible grammar knowledge who freeze up the moment they have to speak, and I've met people who make lots of mistakes but communicate brilliantly because they're not afraid to try.
The fear of making mistakes is probably the biggest barrier for most English learners. People are afraid of saying the wrong thing, of sounding silly, of not being understood.
But the truth is, native speakers don't judge you for trying. They appreciate the effort. They want to understand you. And most of the time, even if you make a mistake, the meaning still gets across.
Communication is the goal, not perfection. You don't have to sound like a native speaker to be an excellent communicator in English.
So one of our biggest pieces of advice is speak more than you study. Many learners spend hours reading grammar books and doing exercises, but they almost never actually speak.
Find opportunities to use your English every day, even small ones. Talk to yourself in the mirror, record yourself speaking, join a language exchange app, comment in English on YouTube videos.
And of course, keep listening to content like this podcast. Regular exposure to real, natural English is one of the most powerful things you can do for your fluency.
The more you listen, the more patterns your brain absorbs, and over time, those patterns start to come out naturally when you speak, even without consciously thinking about them.
Language learning is a journey, not a destination. Enjoy the process, celebrate small wins, and never, ever give up.
Because every single time you practice, even for just a few minutes, you are getting better. Your brain is learning. Progress is happening, even when you can't see it yet.
All right, we're coming to the end of today's episode. Let's do a quick recap of what we covered.
We went through 5 natural, everyday expressions. I'm all ears, it slipped my mind, get the hang of something, on the fence, and hit the nail on the head.
We practiced 2 shadowing exercises to work on natural rhythm and connected speech.
And we talked about word stress, sentence stress, and the importance of a confident, positive mindset in language learning.
Our homework for you this week, try to use at least one of today's expressions in a real conversation, and practice each shadowing sentence at least 5 times before the next episode.
We'd love to hear how you're getting on. If you have any questions, comments, or topics you'd like us to cover in a future episode, please let us know.
And if you enjoyed this episode, please share it with a friend who's also learning English. The more, the merrier.
Thank you so much for listening to the Practical English Podcast. Keep practicing, stay curious, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Take care, everyone. Bye for now.
Goodbye.
Before we go, a quick reminder about how to use this episode most effectively. Listen once all the way through without stopping.
Then come back and try shadowing along with us. Pause whenever you need to, and really focus on matching the rhythm and tone.
And if there are any expressions or sentences that feel tricky, make a note of them and practice those specifically.